Guys, it happened. It's not really a big surprise, but the Australian Grand Prix will no longer be the season opener in 2021. Bahrain will host the season opener, and the Australian Grand Prix will move later on in the calendar. And this is a bit surprising, Imola will return. I have on screen a picture of the calendar so you can look at it. It's not really a big surprise that the Australian Grand Prix will no longer happen in 2021 as the season opener. We've heard some rumors from Autosport and a lot of other trustworthy magazines and news outlets. We knew that this was going to happen. We knew that Bahrain would probably be the season opener in 2021. What we didn't really know is that Imola was going to return and was going to be right after the Bahrain Grand Prix. This is an interesting season opener. I have to admit, it's an interesting season opener. The 28th of March, we're going to have Bahrain, and on 18th of April, we're going to have Italy. This is an interesting format, and on the 2nd of May, we're going to have the TBC, when we don't really know what's going to happen. We don't really know what race is going to be on the 2nd of May, but it's an interesting approach. It's a bit sad that it's 2020 all over again with the Australian Grand Prix being postponed. It's a bit sad, but we hope that this is the last revision to the calendar. We hope that this is the last cancellation, postponement. We hope that this is the last revision, and we hope that we're going to get the full 23 races this year. We hope that it's going to happen. I have to admit, the calendar looks good, and it's an interesting approach to start the season with the Bahrain Grand Prix. Formula 2 almost always started with the Bahrain Grand Prix, and we know that can be quite exciting. We've had a pretty exciting Bahrain Grand Prix this year, and the Sakir Grand Prix as well. And while Imola wasn't really what we hoped it would be, it was an okay race. It was a decent race with a surprise podium, but it could have been a lot better, and I think that it's going to be a lot better this year. I think it's quite interesting that we're going to have a different start to the season. What I don't like is that we're going to have to wait a bit more to start the season. We should have started the season a week before, but we're not going to do that because, of course, the Australian Grand Prix will move to the back of the calendar. With the changes made to the front of the calendar, to the beginning of the season, there are going to be undoubtedly some changes to the back part of the calendar, the latter stages of the season. We're going to have Mexico, then Brazil, then we're going to have the Australian Grand Prix on the 21st of November, then we're going to have Saudi Arabia, and then we're going to have, of course, the season finale in Abu Dhabi on the 12th of December. I'm quite sad and disappointed that we're still going to have the season finale in Abu Dhabi. This isn't really the news that we're going to talk about today. It's not really a great season finale, but what we're here to talk about is, of course, the postponement of the Australian Grand Prix. It's not really a bad thing. It's not really a bad thing. It was traditional. It was the tradition to start the season with the Australian Grand Prix. That's a bit sad that we're not going to keep that tradition, but we already broke that in 2020 when we started in Austria. So we can't really talk about tradition. It was, and it is, an okay race. It's a decent race, but it's not a legendary circuit. It's a really good circuit, but I really don't have any amazing memories from Melbourne, from the Australian Grand Prix. There aren't many memories from the Bahrain Grand Prix either. I think that, in my opinion, Formula 1 should start with an incredible race and should end with an incredible race. That's how things are supposed to be, and I would love if that would happen because we don't really like boring season openers and boring season finales. We want to start with a bang and we want to end with a bang. We want surprising season finales and surprising season openers. But it's not really going to happen. This year we're going to start with the Bahrain Grand Prix I hope it's going to be an interesting one. It is going to be a night race, which is amazing, which is great. And I guess we'll have to wait and see. But this is the calendar for the 2021 season. I guess we're going to have to make another video when the TBC is going to be announced. But yeah, that was it. Short video. Stay safe and happy race watching.